Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Welcome to Morning Spring today on Western Spring Television. It's a new day and, of course, a new energy. And we are here to do what we do exactly, speaking truth to power, conversing on issues of public importance, anything that has to do with Nigeria and Nigerians, within our borders and sometimes beyond our borders. Femi Ojo is my name, and good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Femi.
Yeah, good morning.
It's a beautiful morning, not so quiet. It's delightful too. But my name is Timothy Brajajololuwola. Welcoming you to the penultimate installment of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. This is where we set before you issues, policies, that affects us as Nigerians and as people in the world. Welcome to this installment.
All right. On this program, we look at the headlines from, the front pages of different dailies. And of course, we then talk after that. Of course, we talk through the program, but we converse, speaking with critical stakeholders. And we're live on channel 190. That's channel 190 on StarTimes DTT. And also on our Facebook and YouTube channel at the Western Spring Television NG. Western Spring Television NG. We are ready if you are. The newspaper segment is next, but before that, no more news that the Super Eagles of Nigeria, fell yesterday actually. The Olympus fell, not a result we all expected, but then it was quite a battle. That ordinarily should be 90 minutes, but it was extended to 120 minutes of extra time. And of course, it was time for the penalties. And the boys, the Super Eagles came in at that point, missing two of their sport kits. And the host country, Moroccans, Atlas Lions, that's what they're called, carried the day. It was quite a battle. Actually.
Yeah, it was. And that's why the Nigerian spirit is, a bit down, especially if you are a Chelsea fan and Nigerian at the same time.
Oh, Jim. Well, I'm not sure you should go there. Where we were yesterday, cheering up and watching yesterday. Yeah. And, as we were watching the Nigerian game, some were monitoring the Carabao Cup between Chelsea and Arsenal. Yeah. For me, that was small fry. The big was the Eagles match, but then Arsenal fans will console themselves with that.
Yes.
Win, but it was a negligible competition actually. It's the Carabao Cup. Yeah. It's not the League Cup. I mean, it's not the Premier League. Neither is it the Champions League. But a win is a win. At least if Chelsea wins over Arsenal.
Just found a way to downplay the win.
No, I'm not a fan of both of them actually. But
someone is a fan.
Let me make my point. The point is this. That, if actually Nigeria had won yesterday, Chelsea fan, Munich fan, United fan, Liverpool fan, as far as you're Nigerian, you could have consoled yourself with that.
Yeah.
And, when it got to the extra time, I was telling myself it would not be good that Nigeria will lose at this point. Because the match started 9 p.m. It ended just a few minutes before 12.
Before 12, yeah.
So you could imagine somebody who went out of his home to go and watch, and by the time you are returning, you have lost as a Chelsea fan. You have lost as a Nigerian fan, and you are coming back. But that's life, actually. That's life. I'm not the one that will come here this morning and start trading blames. I don't really like that.
Yeah.
Whenever Nigeria plays, and the following day, even if you don't know the scores, so you start seeing people forming coach, you know that something has gone wrong. And I won't be here doing all of that. It was a battle well fought. 0-0 at 120 minutes, actually. Although the Moroccans dominated the game, actually. And you might say it's expected, kind of, everywhere in that stadium yesterday was red. Was red. I could not hear one pam, 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 pam. Not that they will not be doing it, but you can't hear.
Yeah.
Like in a stadium of thousands, the Eagles fan there will just be like a drop in the ocean. But then they have a match to go. That will be the third place. Earlier, Senegal defeated Egypt. So it will be a all North African affair. That will be Morocco versus Egypt. Morocco versus Senegal, not a North African affair. And then it will be Nigeria versus Egypt. Right. All the best to the boys. And, you know, as I got home yesterday, tried to freshen up and, you know, sleep. I remember the promises that was made by Abdul Samad Rabiu.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars for each goal. It was on that day that they didn't even score any goal. They lost. Could that be a reason why there were tens and all of those things? But then, when it's not your day, it's not your day.
Yeah.
So let's flog it. Super Eagles, well done. You have a more leg. At least if you can't be number 1, you can be number 3. Okay. It's but then the race will now be for, I think we can have a takeaway. Osimhen might be first to, he limped out yesterday, actually, towards the end of the show. But they have to get him ready now because he's on 4 goals. Mohamed Salah is on 5 goals or 4 goals. Brahim Diaz of Morocco is on 4. So what am I talking about? The goal scorer of the competition. All of them, they are still there. 5, 4, 4. So he will have to have his chance again. So if we are not winning the Nations Cup, maybe our boys, you know, can have something individual. Yeah. So all the best to Nigeria. We'll take this quick break. When we return, we dive straight right into what the papers are for us. Is Morning Sprinkle Clock. Stay with that. Well, let me start with the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Nigerian Tribune, big, bold one, quite it sounding like a good news. Federal government ASUU unveil agreement to end prolonged university crisis. FG ASUU unveil agreement to end prolonged university crisis with riders, and you might want to listen to these. 40% salary increase for lecturers takes effect January 1. 1.7 million naira special annual allowance approved for professors. Readers to get 840,000 naira allowance annually. Don't wait for strike to implement agreement. ASUU tells federal government, that's important. Wants VCs against mismanagement of funds. All right, maybe we are getting to that point where we'll say, well, there is an agreement on both sides. You know, that notorious or popular 2009 agreement every Eke market day, maybe we have something better now. But, you know, before I go ahead, when I saw the terms and conditions yesterday or whatever has been agreed, and 800,000 for, I think for readers, 840, then 1.7, 1.8 million special allowance for professors. Yeah. So there was this conversation we're having with some friends, you know, some friends who are abroad, and one of them was teasing the other two, like, oh, will you guys come back now? Because there's so much money. And I remember somebody responded in that conversation and said, that's a money that somebody can make in a month, actually. In that same abroad. And this 1.7 million is annually. So don't make it sound like it's a big money. When you put it in 12 places, how much would that be? 1.8 million. For a professor, that's what I'm saying here. So for me, it might sound like maybe we are moving, but something in you will tell you that's not how a professor should be. It should be, you know, remunerated. Professor. Lord have mercy.
And then, in fact, several things. The fact, okay, let me begin with the most obvious one. It has not been paid yet.
No.
So that is just an agreement. We need to know that there have been agreements since 2009, and we hope that we do not have a repeat of the same thing that has been happening in 2009. So 2009, 26, 2017, 2019, 2021, all of those things. And in 2021, or in the past administration, 3 different committees, the Babalaki Committee, the Mimi Briggs Committee. There was one in between Babalaki and Mimi Briggs. Before this one now said the Yayali Ahmed's committee that eventually resulted in this. But what we're saying is, all of those deliberations, agreements, and those, I was asking, and I'm asking now, will these, all of the people from that struggle since 2009, several of them retired, some dead, will it be, you know, backtracked to that particular period so that the people that were caught in the struggle also have, you know, earnings of what their sweat, their you know, all of their time have gone into? That's on the one hand. Yes. Two, a quick implementation. Thank God they're saying it takes effect from January 1. That's another thing. Then the terms and conditions you're talking about, the fact that you're asking for autonomy, is that going to be, you know, hard? And then on the part of the schools now, how do you intend to get your fundings? I mean, how do you generate your income? Is school fees going to increase again? Remember, you're the ones having the increments, not the parents. So is this going to backfire on the parents who have also, you know, more like joined you in the struggle? Because their children, there was a time you people down-tooled, and their children were not in school. So they should have to suffer twice, and including the students, do not have to increase their school fees without increasing facility or, I mean, improving the quality of facilities and all of this, quality of education. And we shouldn't even be having all of these increases again. Well, those are pertinent questions we should be asking. Questions. We're happy for them. We pray it is implemented, but then it should not backfire on ordinary citizens who are trying to make a living. Well,
I think one good point there. One thing that we should recognize is this is an agreement for us. ASU They will only talk about things that has to do with ASU. And some of them will tell you as well that they too are parents. Actually, that's one thing. That's why I say good point made there. But the ripple effect of this is this, for me, and because while not speaking for the federal government, this has been agreed for ASU. Trust me, by next week, you get to hear something from NASU. Then the resident doctors will come back. Then the NMA will come up. Then the NLC will come up. Wow. And those things, if they are legitimate, I mean, their concerns are legitimate, why not?
Well, there are also pending agreements.
The moment to come up to agree for a particular body, because there have always been agreements, actually.
Pending ones.
The thing is, will the federal government, that's where we started, show sincerity in these agreements. Now, agreements and negotiations are always updated. I'm not sure. ASU will know. That's why they have their leadership to do the best. But that's why I said they will first take care of themselves before they think about any other person. Now, it has 2009, 2011, 17, 16, 2021, now 2026. I'm sure the agreements will have been updated to a particular level where they are having these. And there is a rider here that talked about the VCs not messing up whatever has been agreed in all of these places. And, well, I think they will know what to do with themselves, but the sincerity should be key so that other groups can even cut them some slack. For me, it will not just be because there is no money. It's because of priorities.
That's why the warning to the VC is actually against mismanagement of funds.
Of funds. Right. NGX confirms the listing of 3.156 billion UBA shares. NJC recommends Justice Oyewole for Supreme Court. 35 others for judicial appointment. Clears, very importantly now, clears Osun State CJ of alleged misconduct. You know what happened with Milord Adekele Ojo having some squabbles with the executive, not really with the executive, with the state government, you know, led by Governor Adeleke, and then being petitioned to the NJC for some issues. She has been cleared, and I think it's quite good that we talk about that. Milord has been cleared by the AJC, and another person, you know, recommended for the Supreme Court as well. Life goes on. Health. Bone discovery could lead to exercise in a pill for osteoporosis. And why Kano's governance defection to APC is delayed. Consultations affected by lesser Hajj investigations. How serious are we? Party members being forced to defect. Kwakwanso. APC debunks claim. And top strip, U.S. suspends immigrant visa processing for Nigeria, Egypt, Brazil, 72 other countries. Fubara, 2 more lawmakers withdraw support for impeachment. That'll be all from the Nigerian Tribune.
All right, so let's go check out the face of the Punch newspaper. It says here, U.S. visa shockwave. Trump order may delay 5,000 intending Nigerian immigrants. As the rider, 70,621 Nigerians got non-immigrant U.S. visas in 2024. New U.S. visa restrictions hits Nigeria, 74 others. Beside the nameplates there, opposition knocks federal government over alleged $9 million U.S. lobbying deal. Opposition knocks federal government over alleged $9 million U.S. lobbying deal. Above that, federal government ASU unveil agreements to end strikes. Federal government ASU unveil agreements to end strikes. 2025 AFCON, Eagles crash out on penalties to Morocco. Right there. All right. And all right. Below the paper to the bottom strip now, federal government orders banks, fintechs to remit VAT on service fees. Lagos dispatch rider bags 7-year jail term for trafficking tramadol. NPAN, NGE, more Newswatch co-founder Mohammed. Right, you can see some pictures there. It says recovery workers at the site where a crane collapsed onto a passenger train, causing it to derail, killing at least 28 people and injuring dozens more in Thailand's Nohon Ratchasima. The Ratchasima province. That's on Wednesday. That picture right there, gory. All right, those are the headlines right there on the Punch newspapers this morning.
Right, from the Punch newspaper, a quick look at The Guardian. The Guardian for today, ambassador's absence, desperation, expose federal government's $9 million lobbying in U.S. Everyone will need to look into that story. Actually, I was reading through over the night and it was sounding somehow. You can see stakeholders here, Donald Trump picture, that of President Bola Tinubu, Godzilla Pabio, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, the Speaker of the House of Reps, Dr. Tajuddin Abbas, the NSA, Nuhuri Badu. Below that, Falana demands immediate release of Edo protesters. All right, concerns sustain MDA's budget, 24 billion naira for software this year. Must be very big softwares. Tinubu Mark NPN columnist Moniz Watch co-founder Mohammed, and TUC demands immediate withdrawal of no work, no pay directive for health workers. Cracks emerge as more Rivers lawmakers push back on Fubara's impeachment. I think they like at the last count that should be like 4 of them actually, because 2, made a position on that earlier in the week, another 2 yesterday. Well, it is what it is. And SSG alleges Casino local government budget 300 million naira to pay bandits. Ex-secretary to the state government alleges Casino local government budget 300 million naira to pay bandits. We talk about that and other development in the course of the program. On top strip, Dangote assures Nigerians of price stability, listing of refinery stocks, professors to earn extra 1.8 million naira yearly in new federal government ASU parked. And we hope, those that have negotiated and agreed with this knows what they are doing. And they will have negotiated other concerns as well. Because if we get to be honey these and, part of what you said earlier, all of a sudden there is inflation, there is whatever that will make a mess, just like the NLC are talking about right now. You should know that I'm not sure you can always go to the federal government every 2 months and say something is wrong. You must have seen something ahead or had an agreement about certain things that let it stay this way.
And another major concern is the implementation of the minimum wage blanket.
Right. Nigeria's oil production falters as federal government sets terms for bid round licenses. That'll be all from the Guardian.
All right, let's check out the face of Daily Sun. Besides the Daily Sun nameplate, federal government also ends 16 years rift. All right, signed renegotiated agreement to strengthen tertiary education. The banner headline says 2027 election, Bishop Koka Dogara Musa tipped as possible Tinubu's VP. Bishop Koka Dogara Musa tipped as possible Tinubu's VP. And Surida as U.S. elements mount pressure for religion balancing at federal seat of power. As U.S. elements mount pressure for religion balancing at federal seat of power. You can see some pictures right there. Managing Director and Editor-in-Chief of Sun Publishing Limited, Onoha Uke, presenting letter to Olubadan of Ibadan Land, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladaja, Arusha 1, as winner of the Sun Lifetime Achievement Award at the Olubadan Palace, Okearemu, Ibadan. Right there, Igwe of Newi Kingdom, His Royal Highness Igwe Kenneth Orizu III, receiving a letter as winner of the Sun Most Outstanding Royal Father of the Year Award. Right, we move below the nameplate now to the bottom strip of the paper. Fuel scarcity gone with subsidy, says Dangote Refinery. Assures and price stability, listing of refinery stocks. Right. NG pays tribute to Muhammad Adbese. And right there, U.S. freezes all visa processing for Nigeria. 74 others. Reopens redesigned center to deepen U.S.-Nigeria ties. Reopens redesigned center to deepen U.S.-Nigeria ties. How I lost my 2 legs, 1 eye, and Owo church attack. Witness tells court. This headline's right there on the face of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. All right, that brings us to the end of the newspaper review segment. We'll be taking this quick breather. When we return, it will be to the conversation of the day. Stay with us.
In Africa, and all those who masterminded the way it happened. We have